I'm just trying to hydrate until everybody gets here. If you're watching this after the fact because you had to work, because you got a life, because you're on the East Coast, whatever, I apologize. I'm gonna put timestamps for you. Probably, I became privy to the fact that it seems like when you add timestamps, yeah, it's better for the viewer, but it's far, far, far worse for the creator. I think it really hurts. It really hurts analytics. But I'll probably do it for you. I'll probably do it. But I'm just waiting for everybody right now. I'm trying to get hydrated. You know, it's the new year. You know, I'm drinking water for the next 9 days until I forget what my new year was supposed to be like. You know, I drink a gallon a day until like January 12th. Because then I forget how much I like soda. Now look it. I was going to go live right now. I was going to talk about some other stuff. I had a whole list of things that I was going to be talking about, all right? And I still got it. I made some notes. I planned for this. I got ready, okay? I had good intentions. I was going to show up over here with good intentions, all right? But then some news broke. Right when I was done making my thumbnail, I was trying to get ready to go live. Some news broke. And now I'm here to break it down for you, all right? I'm not going to drink too much because I don't want to have to go... I don't have to go pee-pee. Come on! My boy, Law You Man. We stayed up late for the analytics. Oh, you're on the East Coast. Kind of do. I apologize. I meant to go live way earlier, but I saw some stuff when I was looking up what was going on in the MMA world, and there was a few things I wanted to address. I don't want to leave anything out. So I don't think this is going to be the shortest stream ever. I got some things I really want to get off my beanie. Come on! Also, I dropped that crazy scoop on Paddy and your instant DMs. Mine is green is good. Crazy scoop. What happened? What did Paddy do? Crazy scoop. Oh, snap. Let me see. Green is good. I see you care about the environment and everything. I forgot how to check. Okay, there they are. I forgot to go to DMs. It's all the way on the right. Dana's angle with Paddy. The bias makes sense. Unquestionably. Wait, what is this? What's going on? The unknown man behind UFC's controversial rise. Wait, what? What? All right, I'm gonna have to watch this. That's crazy. I'm gonna do some treadmill after this, and I'll scope that out. I'll let you know how I feel after I watch it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. All right, look, listen. I want to start off by saying something that I think is very important, all right? Because I don't want anybody to get it twisted in here. I want to start off by saying that there's absolutely... I know there's a lot of different angles you could go with this, and you could try to make the most of it, whatever. Everybody has different perspectives. But I want to say that there's absolutely nothing funny about a dude hitting his lady. All right. I know some people like to tell jokes and some people like to cut up and try to all right, let's look for the silver lining and stuff like that. The bottom line is there's nothing funny about a dude hitting his lady. Unless his name is Dana White and he just started a power slap league. There's nothing funny about a dude hitting his lady, all right? Nothing. Unless it is fitting for these exact, precise circumstances that we are looking at right now, all right? I just want to get that straight before everybody starts goofing around, all right? Jared Soares, Dana Diaz White. There ain't nothing funny about it, all right? Unless this fool with the cheeser. Unless Dana White brings the power slap. Unless this fool with the cheeser trying to burn me when I was making my move to Rumble, when I was making my migration. Look at that. Look at that smug look right there. That fool's repressing right there, waiting for his moment. He's telling his wife, just give me a reason, just a little bit's enough. He was saying they were celebrating New Year's Eve, and he was serenading his wife. Just give me a reason, just a little bit's enough. So look at, I think it's ironic. All right, I think it's very ironic. Come on, Dana, first intergender slap league champion. look, there's some fools. Come on, give Carmon his dues. There's some people right now creating the narrative that this is actually all staged. There's some people right now creating the narrative that supposedly this was all planned out so that, you know, as promotion for the Power Slap League. There's people saying that right now. Mostly Dana White is the one saying this. He's trying to get out of trouble. It's mostly Dana White. But there are a few people that are following suit. Some people think that possibly this is promotion. It's like guerrilla marketing. Dana, I can't let you get close. So there are some people that think that's all there is to it. He's just trying to bring eyes to the new Power Slap League. There are other people who think it's ironic that he's out here trying to ruin other fools' lives, other fools' careers, trying to steal other fools' intellectual properties with that big old cheeser right there, the Dana White power slap, and then maybe a little bit of it came back to him. Maybe that fool reaped what he sowed a little bit. I don't know. There's some people talking about it like that from that angle. And yeah, he was recreating when Diaz slapped him. Some people think that he's dealing with some repression issues, that maybe he's just been waiting for years to get that off of his chest. But it's very, very interesting, very ironic timing. And look, I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know if you guys got to look at it. Wait a minute. Did I not? I thought I had that for you. Hold up. I thought I took care of that. All right, hold up. So in case you didn't see it, let me just give you a little bit of the backstory right here. Because Dana White already came out and apologized. And he was trying to say that he was drunk when it happened. He's blaming it on the alcohol. But the thing is, he even sounds drunk. He sounds like he's intoxicated during his apology. I don't know if you watched his apology video. He kept saying the same thing like 15 times. I mean, I'm never going to forget how old they were when they met, how long they've been together, how long they've been married, the fact that their kids are the most important thing in the world. That fool kept repeating himself over and over. It's like he was planning on doing multiple interviews and forgot that he was still in the same one when he kept going through his whole spiel. He kept repeating himself. Chuck Fury at FuriousComedy.com. Childish, you was just helping him train. That's what I'm saying. Another angle that we have to explore here, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. Some people are going to appreciate it, and some people are going to get confused as to where they stand. Are we equal opportunity or not? I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not going to say you should be, you shouldn't be, and all that entails. I'm just going to say, are we equal opportunity or not? Some fools say I would never, ever, ever slap a woman unless she slaps me. Some people say I would never slap a woman no matter what. Some people say I'm an equal opportunity smacker. If someone smacks me, I'm going to respect them enough to smack them back regardless of what their gender is on that particular day. There are some people that are the most accepting, the most open-minded, the most tolerant, who will say, if you smack me, I'm going to flat out respect you enough to smack you back. I'm not going to ask you what you are. I'm not going to try to look at you and figure out what you are, because in 2023, that's not how I would know what you are anyway. You got to tell me what you are. I'm assuming if you came up and smacked me, you probably don't care to do that. So I'm just going to return the favor, because that's the most loving, considerate, tolerant, open-minded thing that I could do for you. For me to not slap you would be a form of judgment. I will be judging you and who you are if I decided not to slap you. So I'm going to respect you as a human and everything else that you're supposed to be, and I'm going to smack you back. Because to not do so would be bigoted and intolerant. I mean, please tell me if I'm wrong. Please. Because I don't want to be wrong. But if what I'm saying is wrong, I don't want to be right. At the same time, though. So look, Dana White was in Cabo and he was partying with his wife. I mean, he's off to a good start. He's off to a good start. Because we've seen Dana White partying before. He was not with his wife. You know what I'm saying? We see Conor McGregor out partying. He's not with his wife. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other athletes and CEOs and presidents and these types of positions. They like to take advantage of where they're at in life. You know, he's off to a good start. He's out partying. Oh, man. He's in Cabo. Oh, snap. He's intoxicated. What are you doing? But he's with his wife. Okay. And then supposedly they had a little bit too much to drink. A little bit too much to drink. Now, if you guys have been here long enough, you already kind of know where I'm with that kind of stuff. The Grandmaster doesn't partake. I'm not going to try to come at you sideways if you do. I'm just saying, in my life, I've never seen an ounce of good literally come from it. I've seen people die. I've seen people break up. I've seen people fight. I've seen people say stupid stuff they couldn't take back. I see people make wrong choices. I never seen anything good come from it. You know, I never seen anyone get a promotion. I never seen anyone, grow 5 inches or like get strong. Like, I never seen that happen. All I see is negative. And in fact, I saw it New Year's Eve. If you've been here for a while, you heard me talk about how I kind of wanted to move and I couldn't stand the neighborhood any longer because of a bunch of drama with some neighbors. Well, they decided to have a good time and get inebriated during the weekend. And there was like 15 cops in the neighborhood, and the dude was hiding in somebody's backyard, and they took out the German Shepherd. It was crazy. And I was thinking, like, how different would their night have been if they just would have played Monopoly? Like, these stupid fools. Like, but anyway, he's not my problem anymore. I wasn't trying to go into that. I'm not trying to be all judgmental or anything like that. I'm just saying I was out there scratching my beanie like, this fool. And it was loud. I mean, I was already trying to wrap it up and go to bed and everything, start my new year drinking water, staying hydrated and everything. I had good intentions. I had really good intentions. I didn't go to sleep till like 5 a.m. I was out there pacing in my backyard because I thought this was probably my backyard. The cops were banging, bah, 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 bah. They had their guns drawn. They had the dog right there. They're like, come out right now. Come out. And I'm not going to lie, I was listening on the scanner. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I was listening on the scanner, and then they're like, he took off. He's in someone's backyard. So I went in my backyard, and I was like, I had the new chanclas ready to go and everything, but it wasn't my night, you know? Anyway, Dana White's out partying with his wife. He's out partying with his wife. And next thing, they have some kind of, supposedly Dana White whispers something to his wife. They're out partying. They're intoxicated. There's a lot of ladies roaming around and stuff like that. Dana White's feeling frisky. He whispers something to his wife. Now, you can come to your own conclusions about what he might have said to her. I'm not going to get into that right now. But Dana White's kind of like breaking his neck, you know, everything. He gets kind of curious, starts scratching his dome. He's like, hey, you know, he starts whispering to his lady. She gets mad. She's upset. She puts her head down. She doesn't want none of it. Then he's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? She comes back. Boom. That's what's wrong with me. She smacks him. She lands first. First blood. He doesn't like that. He smacks back. Now, some of you don't want to just hear me talk about this all day. You want to see it for yourself. So I'm going to do you a little favor. Take a look at this right here. Boom. Boom. Now, that's a little clip. That's a little excerpt. There's more now. There's mayhem. They're trying to break it up. They're trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. He's thinking about going for the ground and pound. Fortunately, they had Herb Dean there. He didn't let it go any further. There was an early stoppage. Fortunately, Herb Dean was partying in Kabul as well. Or who knows how long this would have went. Who knows how long this would have went. Herb Dean blessed them with the early stoppage. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you didn't see it, let me show you again. So this is just a little excerpt. The video is longer. I'll tell you right now, if you go look for it, there's not much more. His wife's just kind of standing there. He says something to her, and then the next, moments later, she's like covering her head. She's like checked out, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? What's up?" She turns around, boom, that's what's up. Then he hits her back, and then what you saw after the mayhem, the scuffle, and people trying to break it up, it was just a little bit more of that. Some people think that this is all staged because this fool is just trying to get some guerrilla promotion for his Dana White Power Slap League. Look at that cheeser right there. He's very proud of this thing. This is his baby. And if somebody knows the answer to this, let me know. Is this Dana White Power Slap thing, is this 100% his, or is this also under the umbrella of ESPN Disney? Does anybody know that? Because I'm gonna talk about something right now in a minute or two, which I think is very connected to that. Hey, what's up, Period? GM, with all due respect, watch it again. He starts it. She goes to leave and he holds her from leaving. She slaps him in a get off me way. And he tap. Yeah, now look. I feel like I could already understand the way that where you're coming from, Period, and the way that you worded this. I already know everyone in the chat feels differently about this, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're married, whether you're not married, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're of ethnic background, whether you're very, very Caucasian, whether what kind of spouse you have. It depends what your defaults are. But there's some people who feel different ways about when you are married with someone, about, and this is man and woman, both ways, about what kind of capabilities and access and rights you have to them. If you're a woman and your husband's annoyed and he's walking away, can you grab his wrist and say, wait, hold up, I want to talk to you? Can you do that if you're a woman? If you're a woman and he turns his back and you're like, wait, hold up, you grab him by the collar, hey, dude, I'm trying to tell you. If you're a man and the woman's upset and can you grab the wrist and go, hey, wait, hold up. Is it only one? Is it only okay one way? Is it not okay anyway? Is it okay both ways? A lot of people are like, we own each other. What's hers is mine, what's mine is hers. We're one flesh where we could, and other people are like, no, separate bank accounts, separate cars, separate. I mean, I hope you have a separate Facebook. I hope you, no matter how you feel, don't get a joint Facebook. Don't do it. But you know what I'm saying? So everybody has a different perspective coming into this to begin with. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. She was trying to exit the conversation and he was trying to stop her. Now, some dudes might be like, hey, well, that's not fair. Because I don't know if you remember that Dane Cook special with the ladies, being like a mind ninja and stuff like that. And they like come at you in their own like cerebral type of way. And it's not fair. So I don't know. Everybody feels differently about that. Rodolfo Murillo, good stream. Hey, thank you, Rodolfo. Thank you, Rodolfo Murillo. Thank you for helping me do it. Thank you for helping me start the year off strong. I'll continue to be here for you, making it the best. 2023 is not going to be that hard to be a good year because not only like MMA-wise, not only like YouTube-wise, 2022 was the worst year of my life, like period. It was terrible. So yeah, let's do bigger and better things this year. Do the do. Dana trying to prove that dad's prediction wrong. He's trying to show fools how vital and vibrant he is. He's trying to show fools he still got that testosterone. Juice box. Oh, Dana smiled when Diaz did it like a good boy. Thanks for the news, Gia. Yeah. I mean, that fool might be a little bit masochistic. I don't know. He likes taking the smacks from dudes. He likes delivering them to the ladies, and he knows what's going to happen. He knows the kind of percussions that's going to come from that, the type of backlash. I mean, you might think, how's he a masochist hitting on ladies? Because of how fools are going to come after him after the fact. And here's why I was asking right now. I was asking, and I took so long to read it. Can you let me know again if I missed it? Does ESPN/Disney have any ownership over the Power Slap League? Or is that a completely Dana White thing? Because, I mean, look. Hey, Diggity Dan, welcome to the YouTube membership. Hey, with the guitar. Welcome to the YouTube membership. Don't forget to scope the community tab for extra stuff. Oh, I'm going to be uploading bloopers soon. I don't know if you saw it. I just uploaded a new video. About 9 people watched it. So I want to thank all those 9 people. But I have like 270,000 more subscribers that have not seen it yet. So if you did not see the new video, you can scope it right here after this stream, of course. And then I'm going to be adding some bloopers to the YouTube membership, to the Patreon, to the locals, all those paywall type of things, you know, those dirty things. But look, here's something that we gotta start thinking about right now. If Dana White just smacked his lady on national internet, I mean, somebody made a good point, and I don't know who it was. And I would give them their credit. And if you know who it was because you already saw the video, please shout them out. I don't mean to not give them credit, but I just watched a clip of someone else talking about this Dana White power slap thing. And somebody said that they made the point, if this was the commissioner or the president of the NBA or NFL, they will be gone. And that's true. That's true. I'm not saying that you have to be PC, that you have to be all PC and progressive and stuff to be against smacking your lady. That's not what I'm saying. But because those leagues are very, very progressive and PC and all that, of course, that's the case. And that made me start thinking, you know, the only thing about the UFC is like, well, it is fighting and people do look at it and consume it differently. And I remember a reporter asked Dana White this very recently. They were like, hey, these fools were fighting behind the scenes. How do you feel about that? And he's like, they're fighters. What do you expect? That's what they're going to do. I was a little bit surprised by that because I remember years ago, some fool socked another dude after the bout. And Dana White was like, he'll never be in the UFC again. I don't care if he goes all over the world and he's undefeated and he's the best pound for, he'll never fight in here again. It's like it only works for certain people. Because then like Conor McGregor does what he does, even though he's the homie. You know, the fly like an eagle, even Khabib does and stuff like that. And I understand it, but Adesanya and Hamza Chimaev and Kevin Holland and people trying to get down when they're not supposed to, he's all right with it. But other fools, he's not. So, yeah, from like a consumer standpoint, viewers and stuff, fans or whatever, I could see people giving him a pass and be like, hey, it's the fight game. Of course, the president of the fight game is going to smack a couple people around here and there. Aside from that, though, hey, come on, John Jones, the real winner in this situation. Hey. It trickles from the top down. The abuse, the PEDs. So look, something that we gotta acknowledge right here. There's a good possibility because this is owned by Disney. And I don't think you could get more progressive and PC and blah, 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 blah than Disney. There's a good chance they're going to fire this fool. There's a very good chance they're going to fire this fool. Now, I already saw some people in the comments. They're going to let him get away with it. That's what my first thought would be as well. Not only because it's the fight game and there's certain expectations and because he's Dana White. Eric Scarface, is Dana going to get fined for not wearing Venom? That would be funny. That would be hilarious. He comes out in the apology video and he's like, you know what? Look, I've already been fined. I just fined myself. Look, this is something that we have to acknowledge right here. We're talking about Disney. Disney. Now, look, we talk about Dana White privilege, but I don't know if he has the capability to give it to himself. If we're talking about Sean O'Malley, if we're talking about Conor McGregor, if we're talking about Paddy Pimblett, they could get Dana White privilege all day, but can Dana White get Dana White privilege? J5, what style was Dana employing on the balcony there? LOL, smash the like button. Thank you very much, J5. Thank you. He definitely wasn't securing the bystander. He was on that Will Smith Kwando. I mean, Will Smith ends up looking like the hero in this situation. He's over here trying to defend his wife's honor. Dana White smacking his wife. Who should really be kicked out of the Oscars? Who should really have to give back the Academy Award? They should give Dana White an award just so he could experience the loss of having to give it back. There's a very, very real possibility that Dana White's going to get fired. Because look, even more than the narrative, they're going to let him do whatever he wants. So, because we're sick of that, right? Oh, that was unfair. Everything's staged. Everything's fake. People get away with everything. But that's always under the umbrella of Dana White. But is Dana White going to be able to get away with this? We're talking about Disney. Now, look, I don't know how. I was coming at it from if a dude physically keeps me from leaving a tense situation, he's made it physical already angle. But your counter analogy is good and valid. He still gave her 2 for 1. I mean, that's true. Whether or not it's okay, it's still physical. You know, whether you give a little flick, you grab the wrist, you grab the ear, whatever. That's true. That's true. If the dude physically keeps me from leaving a situation, you know, however you do that, it still become physical. That's a fact. All right, respect. So look, I was about to say, I don't even know how Dana White ended up being in the position that he's in with Disney, because they're just like, how do they not butt heads, especially everything that happened with the coronavirus and everything. You know what a company like Disney stance is going to be. And then we knew what Dana's was, and they were completely opposites, completely. So I was thinking for a while, how do these two cohabitate? Well, it had to be somehow in the deal. It had to be somehow worked out that way, because of course you got Dana on the side and the Fratadas and, you know, whatever else, like whoever these dudes were, and they're like, well, if you want to buy it, if you want to have the rights to it and the access to blah, 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 then you got to do it this way. This is like, fine, we'll take what we can get. Do. Derek Lewis voice. You like to hit on girls? I can't do it. I'm not going to try it. I like to hit on girls. You like to hit on girls. I don't know if that was Derek Lewis or Shaq. It's probably both for me. That's the best I could do. My Derek Lewis is also my Shaq. The thing that you have to, Angel Padilla, Jim, the modern day Mike Wallace. Nah, I know. I look at. I'm an MMA truther, so I'm not even gonna pretend that I know who that is. There's a part of me that wants to, because I don't want to get embarrassed, that wants to act like I know who that is, but I don't. He's an American journalist. Okay. So that's it. I'm bringing you the truth right here. I'm doing my due diligence out here. I appreciate that. A-Bomb, Dana posted an apology tweet. I saw the video. I saw the video of him going on and on, talking in circles, saying the same thing over and over. I saw that one. So look, this might be a beautiful excuse for Disney to get rid of Dana White. And maybe it was a plan. Maybe Dana White's wife was one of the Mickey Mouse kids or something way back in the day, and she's been grooming him since day one. Maybe it was an inside job. I don't know whether it goes that deep or not. All I'm saying is right here, right now, you got Disney, you got Dana White. You got one of them like best friends with Donald Trump, and you got the other one like not so much. I was wondering for the longest, how are they partners? How are they working together? How do they coexist? Well, maybe they don't have to anymore. I can't imagine a world where Disney has any interest in hanging on to Dana White because of how, you know, far in the other direction away from them he is. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm wondering, does he have 100% rights to Power Slap, or is that also under Disney and ESPN? And do DC for president. Oh, snap. Imagine DC as UFC president, not being under Dana White, so he's not feeding into that Dana White narrative, that would be amazing. Because DC was like my guy, one of my favorite fighters of all time, lovable dude. But lately, since he became a company man, it's been a little bit hard to digest. Here's another angle. We're just coming up with new angles right here. We're just rerouting up here like there's traffic ahead. I'm just going this and that way, whichever. Look, I had a new thought right now. What if Dana White hates working with Disney? He hates working with ESPN because of the conditions, because of the limitations that they set on him, because now you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say that, you can't be looking like that, you got to wear this thing, you can't. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own league. I'm going to start the Power Slap League. I'm going to make some guerrilla style type promotion. I'm going to smack up my wife a little bit. And in doing so, they're going to let me go. They can't sue me because I didn't breach the contract. I didn't quit early. There's no quitting early fees or penalties. There's no whatever. I said I'll be with them. They fired me. You know when you're trying to get unemployment and you're like, oh, I don't even care if I do this or I don't do that. Come late, they'll fire me. They gotta pay me. I'm gonna make them fire me. Maybe that's what Dana White's doing. Maybe he's a genius. He creates his own brand new promotion, not under ESPN or Disney. Please tell me if that's the case, because I don't really completely know what I'm talking about right now. But if that's the case, then he promotes it by slapping, gets fired in the process, doesn't have to get sued, doesn't breach contract. He's out on his own, free from any obligation. It's beautiful. It's the perfect crime, as long as his wife doesn't press charges. But I don't think she is. It's perfect. There's a good chance that his wife was in on it. And now think about it. Think about it. Let me show you the video again. Let me remind you something. Before I show you the video, we are living in 2023 right now, okay? We're living in 2023 where even your grandma's flip phone is going to record better video than the video that we see right here of this slap. You always got to think about that. Have you seen some of these martial arts videos pop up on like YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram? And it's like the dude, he's right here like with the half-inch punch, and he breaks a cow in half, or he's at like he has like a brick or something like that, and he flicks it with his pinky and it blows up and stuff. They're always either really sped up or cut weird or really grainy. You ever see like a fight? You're like, was that real? I saw like some lady get hit in the head with a bat the other day. I'm not talking about the one on Rumble either. I'm talking about like, this was crazy. It turns out it was fake and it was all grainy. You got to think when you see video in 2023 that's of a current event, why does it look so? It's like you got to go out of your way to find something that's going to record footage that grainy. So that's the first point that you got to think about. Why does the video look so bad? Where did they find a Radio Shack in 2023? The second thing to consider, why was the camera on them at the exact moment that the slap took place? I mean, I guess you could go the route. There was someone sitting there the whole 3 hours they were partying just like that, just taking up all their space, just live streaming Dana White partying. I don't know. I personally can't imagine anybody doing that. If you're partying in that club yourself in Kabul, you're probably intoxicated as well. You probably don't have the tolerance to sit there for 3 hours or whatever, watching the whole. Why was it just at the one time the alteration happened? So you got the super grainy, sketchy looking footage. That's not even the easiest thing in the world to get your hands on these days. It was right when the alteration happened. Look at this. This isn't realistic. You saw the old dude or whatever. It looks exactly the same. The color tones look the same. The gradients, the fuzziness, the blur, it looks the same. It looks like it was executive produced by the same dude. And remember who else released that one too? TMZ. Barstool Sports is crying right now. It's always TMZ. Dana White, they got some kind of, I don't know if TMZ has something on him and they're like, hey, we get the exclusive. Something goes down, someone hits someone, we're there. He's like, all right. It's always TMZ. It's always dark. It's always grainy. It's always pixelated. It's always blurry. That's always how it goes down. I'm telling you, I'll believe the moon landing happened before I believe this. I'm telling you. That's right, Katonius. The moon landing was filmed before a live studio audience. You can make me believe in the moon landing before I'm going to believe in this. I think it's a promotion. I think it's a Dana White power play. It's a Dana White power slap play. Dana, that's right. Dana got the 50K bonus. So look, I'm not just here to break the news that every other MMA channel is breaking right now. I'm not just here to tell you, hey, Dana White slapped this lady. I'm also here to make you think, because this is the first place my beanie went after I heard the news. Oh, snap. He might get fired now. Now, I know we talk a lot of papas about Dana White and this fool's dirty and he's helping rig fights and he's giving out that Dana White privilege and it's ruining the UFC. But at the same time, think about it. It's bad enough with Dana White. Imagine the UFC if Dana White wasn't there. As bad as Dana White is, he's still like probably the last dude left that would still have any intention at all of trying to like go against the grain of like a Disney or ESPN and outright say, I don't like them raising the prices. I don't like that they want to shut everything down. I don't like that they want to make us dress and act this way. I don't like that they want to make us conduct business. Imagine if they got a yes man in that position. Imagine. They get Dana White out of there. You might see Nick Cannon as president of the UFC next. Think about it. And I'm the first one. I'm the first. Ariel Helwani preparing for this. Oh, that's too much power. Imagine Ariel Helwani with that type of power. Oh, no. That'd be like Ganondorf. That's next level right there. Hey, Genesis. Why would he do that? You'll go to federal prison. I'm telling you, if they get Dana White out of there, we complain. And we're always like, I don't like this. I don't like what this guy's doing. It's dirty. He's letting this and that happen. Imagine if they got him out of there. You could be seeing it, the UFC hosted by Howie Mandel. I mean, what's the better of the two evils? It's scary. And I'm going to move on to the first topic that I was actually supposed to be talking about. Dana let it go to the judges. That's right, Kevin Hart. They're going to make Kevin Hart the new president. It's probably because Scott Coker was speaking out, trying to talk trash on Dana White, making him feel small. And Dana White's like, you want some of this, Coker? That's what I was saying. I was saying this is promo. It's guerrilla type marketing. And I don't know if you heard about Adul-Kerim Edilov. He was a former UFC fighter. He passed away. And if you're not familiar with Adul-Kerim Edilov, let me tell you why he's significant. I don't want to make it seem like he's insignificant otherwise. A lot of you probably don't know the name if you're not one of those fantasy football type UFC fans constantly following every single little thing. He wasn't the biggest name, but he was a former UFC fighter and also a babysitter. He was a babysitter and MMA coach for Ramzan Kadyrov's kids. He just passed away. You guys know who Ramzan Kadyrov is, right? The Chechnyan warlord. Ramzan Kadyrov, the fool that the only man that Khamzat Chimaev is afraid of. Adul-Kerim Edilov just passed away. He was a former UFC fighter and babysitter for MMA coach and MMA coach for Ramzan Kadyrov's kids. They had a falling out. You know this Chechnyan warlord dude that Usman is going and chilling with? Abdulaziz. What's that fool's name? Ali Abdulaziz. Henry Cejudo. Chamoyev. This is how things could go wrong. His first dude, his first right-hand man was Adul-Kerim Edilov. Well, they had a falling out, and now he's dead. He's dead. This fool apparently used to show up in a bunch of Kadyrov's videos. You know how all these people at the top of the UFC right now are showing up in his videos? This dude was first. He was the prototype. He was the guinea pig. He used to show up in a bunch of Kadyrov's videos, but then that stopped. When Chamoyev started being in him, that fool got replaced. They kicked him out of the band. That fool was like, how can you kick me out of what is mine? Kadyrov didn't like that. He didn't like him flapping those gums. He needed to shut him up. When it was announced that he passed away, the day that it was announced, Kadyrov stayed quiet. He didn't express condolences. He didn't even talk papas. He didn't say nothing about it. And that's significant because when other people had passed away that were close to Kadyrov, even if they had a falling out or whatever, supposedly he acknowledged it. This guy was close to him. That fool was close to the family. This fool trained with him. He would always in some way acknowledge it. When this fool passed away, he didn't say anything. But instead, when the news was announced that this dude passed away, Ramzan Kadyrov uploaded an Instagram story of himself doing push-ups. I had to take a moment when I read that. Instead of acknowledging the dude's passing in any way, positive or negative, instead he uploaded an Instagram story of himself doing push-ups. Now, I searched far and wide for this footage. It was very hard to get my hands on this, but I want to let you know I found this footage for you. Ramzan Kadyrov on his Instagram story doing push-ups after the pass. And you wonder why they fear him. Islam gave that fool his bow. Oh my gosh. I did not hear that. I did not know that. You know what, Makachev? It's that type of mentality. It's that type of mentality that's going to have you giving your next bout to Volkanovski. I did not hear about that, and I wish I hadn't read about that. And we gotta think about these other fools. We're always clowning on these fools. What are you doing, Usman? What are you doing, Cejudo? What are you doing, Gaethje? Chamoyev. Well, that fool's crazy. We're not surprised at anything that he does. Ali Abdelaziz, this businessman. He's taking his fighters out there and risking their lives. They're out here babysitting these fools' kids, training them. They're going to end up like this other dude. They're going to end up in the same position as Adul-Kerim Edilov. And when they're gone, all that Kadyrov's going to do is flex on them. This is like when you kill a cockroach and you leave it out so the other ones know what's up. So they could take off to the neighbor's house. That's exactly what he's doing right here with these push-ups. He's letting all these other fighters know what's up. He's leaving the proof behind. He's just putting it out there for the whole world to see. He's not trying to cover up nothing. Who's talking about that supposedly they're going to expedite him to the U.S.? They're not going to do nothing like that. There's nothing that they could do to him. There's no percussions whatsoever. He's a made man. What are they going to do? They're not going to expedite that fool nowhere. They're going to send him to Japan? They're trying to send fools out of Japan right now. Did you read that article? Supposedly, they're offering fools $1 million right now if you move out of Tokyo. They got too much people. Have you ever tried to order Chinese food on a Sunday afternoon? Imagine living there. It's crazy. There's no room. They had to get rid of cars back in the day and just start riding bikes because there's no room on the roads. Now they got fools on pegs. It's getting worse and worse. All these people involved with them, and that's got me thinking. It's like the only person I could think of from that camp that they haven't finally pulled over is Rose Namajunas. If you don't know who Rose Namajunas is, she's the UFC fighter that just followed me on Instagram. Rose Namajunas, the uncrowned champ. Now, I know a lot of people are mad at her because of her last outing against Esparza. I know that, but if you've seen the fight with Sean O'Malley, if you've seen the fight with Paddy Pimblett, you already know that things could go either way. I know as a fan, you could still be upset with her either way, but don't even try to tell me. Don't even try to tell me, at least the majority of you, that if they would have gave her the win, that you wouldn't have been looking at it differently, that you wouldn't have treated her differently after the fact. It's easy to feel negative thoughts toward her when she has that kind of performance and they don't give her the win. But if she would have had that kind of performance and they did give her the win, people would have been like, how strategic, how smart. You know, she's on that Tyrone Woodley. She stayed in there composed. She didn't risk anything. She didn't put herself in danger. And if you wouldn't feel that way, then why are you rooting for Adesanya? Then why are you saying that Peter Yan didn't win? Then why are you saying that? No, nobody's saying that Pimblett won. Nobody's saying that. Light 13. His wife slapped him first. Let's take a beat. Some fools are clapping right now. Some fools are screaming. I don't condone hitting women, but I can't see him getting blamed unless it comes out that he has a history of that type of violence. On the other hand, he should know better not to react like that. Yeah. You know, somebody as famous as him, I mean, it's not like he's been famous as long as Tom Cruise or anything like that, but someone as famous as him, that has been famous as long that he's been famous, that goes out. I mean, that fool likes to party. You would think they'd have a better grasp on it. You would think he'd be like, man, I want hitters so bad, but I'm going to wait till we get home. You would think that he'd be a little bit more aware of where he's at. That's why I'm giving lots of credence to the perspective that this was guerrilla marketing. That he's just straight up promoting his Power Slap League. And we already know that he has no problem with stealing intellectual properties, because you already know I've been talking about Dana White Power since 2017. You could do your due diligence and go watch my hundreds of videos that I've been uploading since like 2015 if you want to know firsthand. I've been talking about Dana White Power. And look at this cheeser, Dana White Power Slap. He looks almost as happy as when Tony Ferguson stole my line about Dana White privilege. And he wasn't happy there. It wasn't enough, because then I went over to Rumble, and on the very first day, was I on the trending page with Tucker Carlson and Andrew Tate? Sure, I was trending. That's okay. But what, the very next morning, not 2 days later, not a week later, the very next morning. It wasn't announced before. There was no talk of it in articles or interviews. It just showed up out of nowhere. The next morning, Dana White, all proud of himself right here with that smug face, shows up on Rumble. Dana White brings Power Slap to Rumble. We already know he's out there trying to put flyers on windshields and stuff like that, knocking on doors. We already know he's trying to spread the word out there. So this may be genius guerrilla type marketing, giving his wife the Power Slap on TMZ. And if you're just tuning in right now, we already went over how it's always TMZ in the loop, and that same blurry pixelated, fuzzy, same kind of color and everything as when Conor McGregor smacked up that dude in the bar. It's always TMZ. The footage always looks like something's going on here. It looks a little bit sketchy. Why does the footage look like this in 2023? Don't tell me it's security footage. I know what security footage looks like. That's what security footage looked like in the 70s. Period. In all seriousness, Khamzat has relatives there, so it's understandable why he's nice to Kadyrov. But the rest of them, Ali, Gaethje, etc., it's disgusting. Come on, dude. Now, I understand what you're saying, period. I think a lot of people would think, well, hasn't Chamoyev made at least enough money? At least enough money to put him in like even not even the best of places in the United States. I mean, you don't gotta come bring him to Manhattan or anything like that. Can he afford at least to put him like in Bakersfield or something like that? Can he at least like afford a little 2-bedroom or something like that to put? Maybe it's a matter of like he got so famous, he blew up so quick. Now Kadyrov controls everything so much so that maybe he sees the family leaving. He's like, wait a minute, you guys all like, you're trying to dip. You're not trying to give the country any love. You're not trying to put us on the map. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that, so I could understand that. But hey, boars, you gotta acknowledge at the same time, no one's gonna take you seriously when you're out here trying to act like you fear no man and you're a made man. You could do whatever you want. You're crazy. But you're over here kissing this dude's loafers. You can't be playing both sides. We've already seen right through it. David Cantu, Dana 60 G's, baby. I mean, they're going to have to send Dana out there to Chechnya to power slap Kadyrov. But the last one is Rose. I haven't seen Rose out there. I don't think she intends to go out there. We already knew in her trash talk with Wei Li, she was proud to be a Polish American. Wait, she's not Polish, is she? What is she? She's like Scandinavian or what? Rose Namajunas. It says American mixed martial artist. Hey, her middle name is Gertrude. But she's from somewhere else. She's always trying to... Milwaukee? Nah. Lithuanian. And that's where? Where's Lithuania? Is that like in Russia? Lithuania officially... Oh, so Lithuania is in Lithuania? Lithuania officially, the Republic of Lithuania, is a country in the Baltic... You already lost me. The Baltic. So is Baltic a country? Lithuania is a country in the Baltic region of Europe. All right, whatever. So she's European American or what? So look, Rose, and that helps me talk about my next subject right here, Rose Namajunas. Rose may have lost, but she's not a loser. A lot of people are getting a little bit too hyped up about this last fight that she had right now, this grappling match. A lot of people are just going a little bit too hard because she had that last performance that she had. Didn't go so perfectly, was very uninteresting and inactive and stuff like that. And they were already starting to turn their backs on her. Then she has this grappling match and she's tapped out and like she's gone in 60 seconds. And I think it's very important to say right now, Rose Namajunas may have lost, but she's not a loser. People are just hopping off the train left and right when you didn't have a ticket to begin with. Bunch of posers out there. Rose losing isn't a big of a deal as people are acting like. Rose losing in a straight grappling match will be like, I don't know, who's pound for pound. Rose losing in a straight grappling match would be like if Francis Ngannou lost a grappling match to Gordon Ramsay. It's not the same thing. That's not fighting. Rose losing straight grappling match will be like if Francis Ngannou lost a grappling match to Gordon Ramsay, or like if Peter Yan lost a boxing match to Floyd Mayweather, or Stipe Muchacho lost a boxing match to what's that fool's name? He looks like a human egg, the way that his body's built. The real tall white dude. What's his name? Fury. That's the same thing. No, I look. Someone said she lost to an MMA fighter, bro. If you're talking about Jillian Robertson, it wasn't in MMA though. So a lot of people are seeing a loss outside of what Rose is the best in as a loss overall. That's not how we should look at it. That would be like if Steph Curry lost a home run derby, and you're like, oh, that fool fell off. Oh, he can't. He's out. He needs to retire. That people are going too hard on her right now. She became like one of the most beloved people in the sport to one of the most hated on. And I don't know if she's getting the residuals from Pat Barry or what, but it's dirty. It's not fair. It's messed up. A lot of people give that situation as a whole a lot of grief because they think it's dirty the way that played out, and how that fool. I'm not even going to use the word right now. Because I have a hard of enough time on YouTube. But I hate to see my girl, and I know you think I'm just defending her because she follows me on Instagram, but it's not about that. People they're in their different lanes and they're where they're at for a reason. I think the reason it's okay for her to lose a grappling match like that in the style that she lost it in and so quickly is okay, because if she was able to throw those head kick knockouts in there, if she was able to throw some of that boxing in there, some of that footwork, some of that distance control, but it's way different because you cut out most of her tools. You cut out like the biggest thing that she had for most of her life and her career. She was a striker. Just because she could throw grappling in there doesn't mean she ain't a striker. The worst part, I will acknowledge, is the excuses. That's the worst part. That's what makes it difficult to hear the stuff after the fact. And I know that it's easy to really hate on people when they start throwing excuses at you. That's kind of like what made it even worse with Paddy Pimblett. If he would have lost the fight on paper, like we all know he should have, because he actually did lose it in reality, and he would have been like, you know what? I lost. I'm going to come back better. I got a little bit too ahead of myself like Francis Ngannou did back in the day. And, I'm going to get my bearings. I'm going to train hard. People would have been like, that's a hero right there. That's a warrior. That's someone that's going to try to come back from adversity. But when he leaves the fight, when he gets the win, when he shouldn't have even got it, and he's still trying to rub it in faces. I mean, look at what happened with Jan Blachowicz. And that fool made himself, my gosh. He just should have never said anything in the first place if he was going to try to come back and take it all away. At first, he was like, you know what? Give him the belt. It is him. He won. I did not win this one. He's the champion. I don't know these judges. If he would have just stuck with that, honorable. And as fans, as viewers, we could say, you know what? You did better than that. I think it should have been a draw. But when he has to go back on that and change it, it just looks bad. He should have never said anything in the first place. Don't be trying to blame it on Joe Rogan now. But if Paddy would have came out and said, you know what, I could have done better. I'm embarrassed. Hey, judges, you shouldn't have given me this win. I don't know. I think it could have been a draw. Even Sean O'Malley, after his fight with Peter Yan, he was being humble, and I showed him respect. I was like, wow. I didn't expect O'Malley to be acting like that. He was in there scratching his braids like, I don't know. I got to watch the fight. And I was like, you know what? First time I ever felt respect for this dude. Of course, then after the fact, he starts yapping his mouth, watching a fight that none of us saw. But Pimblett was doing that from the get. And that's where I'm going with Rose right now. It wasn't the losing that made people turn on Paddy. It was what he was saying after the fact. I put out that video of him talking about in the post-fight press conference. He was talking about how he had Gordon rocked and he was about to put him away right before he poked him in the eye. So I got curious. And I was like, let me go find the footage of the part right before he got poked in the eye. Paddy was landing on nothing but gloves. Paddy was doing pad work. Like I told you, check his Wikipedia. It's Paddy Padwork Pimblett. They just renamed that fool. He did nothing but pad work that entire fight. But he's going on and on. I had him rocked. I was about to put him away. I was about to sleep him. And then there was an accidental eye poke. So I looked and I uploaded it. And I put his voiceover on it. People are I can't believe how much traffic that got. People are still fighting in that thing. But that's what made people really turn on Paddy and hate him. Not the fact that he lost. It's how he was acting afterwards. And I think that's where Rose messed up a little bit. That's where it messed up. And I'm not going to not say the truth just because she follows me on Instagram. I'm not going to do that. I'm still an MMA truther. I still got my fax machine right here. I'm sorry, it's too big to fit into the frame. Someday I'll figure it out. I'll take a photo. But I still got to tell it like it is. And she was saying some stuff and making some excuses after the fact that made it feel different than it needed to. And that's why I think started to make people turn on her. And it's very reminiscent of like the Adesanya syndrome. And he's just going deeper and deeper right now. I don't know if you heard about Adesanya in the news recently. That fool's falling off the deep end. Adesanya, it's not secretive. He's just airing it all out there. He's not afraid. And I think he's thinking about the long game. He's looking at the big picture. And he's looking at excuses that he could like find comfort in further down the road. Adesanya is talking about smoking that Adesanya is talking about smoking that Hayabusa. He just had an interview. He's very open about it. People always getting busted for different things that they're being under the influence of. Nick Diaz couldn't fight for like 20 years or whatever because he had some of that Herb Dean Green that he was traveling with. But Israel Adesanya is just putting it out there for the whole world. He's going to start smoking that Hayabusa. We already got this fool on PEDs. The little gyno blaster right here. The fool never wants to talk about it. Ariel Helwani interviewed him. He straight up asked him. If he had ever done steroids. And I don't know if you saw the video that I made about it a while back. That edit that I made. And I really focused in and I really zoomed in and came in on Adesanya's response. And everybody could see right through it. The body language, the inflection, the mannerisms, the eyes, everything about it. That fool was guilty. We already know that fool was messed up on that type of stuff, making his little bolitos and stuff like that. And then, I didn't even know this. I got to plead ignorance right here. Maybe some of you guys knew this. I didn't know that Adesanya was doing mushrooms. I love mushrooms on my pizza. But I don't get down like that. And I didn't even know about it. I know some people are okay with it. I like mushrooms in my mashed potatoes. I like mushrooms on my steak. I like to get the sauteed shroom burger at Red Robin. I love mushrooms. But I didn't know this fool got down like that. He said that he was doing mushrooms before his fight with Paulo Costa and that he went bike riding. He went bike riding. He was doing mushrooms and then he went for a bike ride with the homies. Supposedly Justin Gaethje was there. That's how Justin Gaethje fell off of his bike. This is why I got to talk about this right here. This ain't a concentrated problem. This isn't an isolated incident. Adesanya's poor life choices right now is making waves. It's making negative waves in the UFC. Adesanya got on those mushrooms. He went bike riding with the homies, and that's how Justin Gaethje fell off his bike. That's how he got injured, and that's why he lost the fight. That was the one he lost against Oliveira, right? I don't know if you guys are keeping up. Justin Gaethje was blaming his last loss on the fact that he fell off his bike and got hurt. He didn't tell us what he was doing before that. Elijah Rudin, did you see what MMA Guru said about you? Oh, snap. About you in his MMA creator tier list. Appreciate the posting, GM. Looking forward to the fight companions this year. Hold up. MMA creator tier list. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to type. Dang, he has a lot of tier lists on here. Okay. Hey, look at this. I'm gonna give you a screenshot right here. Oh, dirty vato. Hey, look, I'm not asking for any favors though, all right? I'm not asking for any favors. So I respect honesty, all right? I'm just gonna show you what I saw right now. I'm B tier. I'm B tier. Hey, that fool. I thought that fool had beef with the Weasel. He put me below the Weasel. Hey, he did the schmo dirty though. MMA content creator tier list: The Weasel, Dan Hardy, Hawani, B tier. Okay. I don't know who that first fool is at B tier, but I see Bisping right there. Who's that first dude? It's like that, huh? My curiosity is piqued. Who said that? Elijah. I'm gonna go scope it out. I said earlier I'm gonna watch that video that Kaimon sent me about Dana White and his homies. I'm gonna run on the treadmill after this because I'm gonna be the healthiest I've ever been in 2023. I keep drinking this as a sacrifice for you to show you how healthy I am, and I'm trying to motivate you, even though I have to urinate very badly right here. I'm doing this for you. I'm just not gonna be able to stream as long as I thought I would because I'm about to go to the bathroom. B tier, this fool. He basically said that you had a lot of that sounds like when my teachers would talk to my mom in my conferences. He has potential, but like it would never actually manifest into anything. He basically said that you had a lot of potential, but you don't make enough YouTube videos to be S tier. Like he actually gave you good props for being a great comedian. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Hey, look, I would say I don't want no favors. That's one of the reasons I feel like people are very 100% this way or 100% that way with the MMA guru. I know a lot of people here hate that fool. And I know a lot of people love his channel. I don't think there's any in between. But one of the things I respect about him is that he's not going to pull no punches and he's just going to say what he thinks is the truth. So I respect that. I wouldn't want anyone to try to do me any favors, but I'm going to have to go scope that out. Beta Quest. It's almost been a year. Take my money. Hit the PayPal too much. Much love, GM. Oh my gosh. That's what you deserve. All of these air horns. You deserve all of them, Beta Quest. So Adesanya's talking about smoking that Hayabusa. And he's saying Kane did it. Now look. Now look. You already know how I felt about the Kane situation. And I'm gonna try to say this in a way where YouTube's not gonna try to do me even dirtier than they already do. I feel like the situation that went down with Kane, I feel like we should live in a type of world where if something like that goes down, like what happened in Kane's life, we should all come together and join hands. I mean, whether you're a cop, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a plumber, whether you're a politician, whether you're unemployed, I feel like that's the kind of situation where we should just all come together and be like, this needs to be addressed. I feel like that's a utopia right there, where you see a certain kind of human being doing something to a child, and it's just it's a matter of fact. This is what needs to happen now. That's the kind of world that I feel like we should live in. And I said that in the most general way I possibly could. Now, the way he went about it, I wouldn't have done. I think it was a little risky. I think it was a little public. I think it could have been a little more premeditated. I feel like if, some of us in here are thinking clearly and we want to get somebody, we're going to do it a little bit more strategically, a little bit more ninja-like, make sure it gets done. So, maybe these were some kind of what I'm trying to say is Cain Velasquez ain't the best person to base your Hayabusa usage off of, and that he was saying, hey, Cain was trying to get DC to do it. And I was like, maybe that's what happened to DC's commentary. I don't know. I'm just trying to jump to conclusions now. I don't know if DC did it or not. But this is the first I've heard of that. And look, sometimes I tell you guys, you tell me, I'm out of the loop. Some of you guys might be reading the MMA news more than I am. But that was the first I heard of it. I didn't know that he was trying to get DC to do that Hayabusa. But if DC did it, it makes sense with some of the stuff he's been saying on the mic lately. Especially sitting next to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has probably smoked so much Hayabusa in his life that when he's wearing that tight button up, that black, with the lights on him, everything sweating, it's probably coming out of his pores. And DC's probably getting it, the secondhand Hayabusa. He didn't even know. It's not even intentional. It's not even fair. It's just emanating off of Joe Rogan. Especially with his head shaved and everything. Imagine how many pores that dude has. Just constantly. It's like a skunk. Just like an invisible Hayabusa spray just coming off the dome. At all angles, all hours of the day. It would make sense to me. Just imagine going from dome to dome. Like it just hops over like little lice. Like little piojos. Dome to dome. From Rogan to DC to Anik. It starts making sense what all those fools are saying. I wouldn't be surprised. But this fool started doing the extracurricular activities. Some fools get all upset. Some fools get their chonies all twisted. I'm telling you, when I made that video with Joe Rogan talking about DMT, and I start talking about narcotics, and fools up, hey, DMT's not a narcotic. Fools get like really upset about how you talk about their drugs, I guess. Like, hey, fool, I don't know it was that serious to you, but however you want to label this kind of thing. He was doing the PED since who knows how long, allegedly, I don't know. He was doing the mushrooms apparently with Justin Gaethje when they went for a bike ride. And maybe that started to mess up his performance. Now I know Joe Rogan. I can't even tell. Like it's insane how many of today's youth, how many of the youths of today, the youths of today on narcotics, probably because of Joe Rogan's promotion of it. Joe Rogan got like the most popular podcast in the world, starts talking about how everyone should be doing it so you could be successful like him. And you got all these kids out here. I want to host a TV show. I want to host Fear Factor. I want to be the most popular podcaster ever. I want to talk about UFC. So I'm going to start smoking Hayabusa. But it doesn't work like that for everybody. I know fools that started doing that. They lost their car. They lost their job. And all they do is play PlayStation all day now. And I know that sounds like a better life than my own. But that's not the point. The point is, his performance has gone downhill since he started using these substances. He went from being the fighter that everybody was excited about to the one everyone was clowning on. Just run in, keep running, keep running. It's a meme. And you got these Adesanya fans that are just constantly trying to counterpunch now. Just underwater. These fans are out here counterpunching like Adesanya. Just trying to defend this fool left and right. It's getting harder and harder for them because this fool stays running. And then he actually lost to Blachowicz, and they're like, it's not his weight class. And then he lost to Pereira, and then they're like, but Pereira's okay. But okay, so Pereira's in the weight class, but he's still too heavy also. It's like Blachowicz. He's too heavy even though he made the weight class. Wait. Okay. Are you going to say that about every fighter that cuts weight now? What are we doing here? I mean, I talk about weight classes all the time. Hey, guacamole machos. I mean, I'm always talking about how dumb weight classes are, but they're important and we need them, and they cut, and this fool's a professional and this one's not, and this fool would knock out that fool because of the weight, and this fool couldn't do that to that fool because of, so do weight classes matter or not? Because he made it. He went through all the hoops. He got on the scale twice. He did everything he's supposed to do, and now we're saying he's too big. So what? Are the weight classes important or not? He made it. He made the weight class. If he didn't make the weight, he wouldn't have fought. I love Theo Von. People always ask me, hey, you should be on Joe Rogan. I'm like, I would never be on Joe Rogan. That fool, I don't exist to that fool. I would have to be like some kind of scientist or something boring like that. Like that, I don't know. Joe Rogan, back in the day, he had like really entertaining guests, but now it's like you got to be a scientist or you got to talk about aliens or something. Or people are like, you should be on whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what the perception is. I would never, they don't know who I am. But Theo Von, that's possible because that fool has on truck drivers. He has on like, he had on like I think he had like a garbage man one time. He had like a retired cop. He had like a substitute teacher. That's the only reason I would have a chance to get on that show. But I love Theo Von. He's a real dude. I like his podcast because he's not just always like laugh. Like that fool will cry and like be emotional, talk about his childhood. I'm like, man, this is a real dude right here. But not so he lost. And now, look, he lost and, allegedly took the PEDs, right? Got the little bolitos and everything. Got that boba. Then he started taking mushrooms. Then he lost to Blachowicz. Then he lost to Pereira. Now he's talking about smoking the Hayabusa. Now I think he's on a trajectory where he's like, you know what? If I do all these drugs, then at least I could blame it on the drugs. Maybe then people will be like, well, of course he lost the fight. He's out there naked in the woods. He thought the fight was out there in the jungle. He didn't even show up to MSG. He's out there fighting right now. He thinks it's out there. This fool's slowly turning into a madman. He's looking for preemptive excuses. It's almost like he's trying to get himself suspended so he can't fight for 15 years like Nick Diaz. Then he could have an excuse. That's like everybody with Nick Diaz. Oh, he would have been the best. He was a legend. Hey, they're romanticizing that fool. I think people thought and have made him better in their minds than he ever really was. Was Nick Diaz good? Yes. But do people act like he was way better than he was? Yes. Speaking of Nick Diaz, why is he still fighting? Why is Nick Diaz still fighting? I'm nostalgic. I'm the first one that's always talking about the old days of the UFC. The original days of the UFC. I'm making videos of them. I covered UFC 1 the beginning. I covered UFC 2 No Way Out. Oh wait, I barely did the prelims. I still got to do the main card. Go watch my recent videos. I can't stand when I see fools in here. Why don't you make videos anymore? Because you're not watching them, fool. Because you're not watching it. People think because I stream, I don't make videos anymore. There's 3 tabs up there now. Shorts, videos, lives. Hit the tabs, homie. I don't know what to say. I'm out here. I've been making videos. I'm the first one for the nostalgia. I like the MMA nostalgia. I want to see Mark Coleman out here. I want to see Tank Abbott out here. But when it becomes a reality, it's scary. Hypothetically speaking, I would love to see Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie get down at UFC 285. Who wouldn't? I would like to see the wrongs made right, because the last time Shamrock and Gracie got down, Gracie cheated by throwing the illegal knee, and everyone's going to act like they didn't see it. I don't know how. I mean, that was on like that Paddy Pimblett type of level. That was dirty. Now, I'm out here wanting that fight. Jaron Swords, he's trying to smoke himself into that Diaz chin. I'm telling you, it's just excuses. At least that way it's legitimate. At least that way he could sleep at night. What happened to Kron Gracie? Kron Gracie turned into Chronic Gracie. Same thing as Nick Diaz. Same thing as Adesanya. Chronic Gracie. These fools don't know how to behave. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They say Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. You can't be in there all inebriated and whatnot. It's not WWF. I know Stone Cold was able to get away with it, and that was my guy, Stone Cold Hulk Hogan. I know a lot of you don't see eye to eye with Hulk Hogan because a lot of this and that, but I'm talking about within the confines of kayfabe. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan, those are my guys right there. But you can't be coming into the UFC like that. You can't be playing with that Chronic Gracie. I would love to see Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie do it again so Ken Shamrock can make things right. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. People are making this a reality. Nick Diaz should be in the same category as those fools. I know he's younger. I know he was more recent, but we got to throw him back there. We got to chuck that fool back there because he's only hurting himself. We got commissions out here making these celebrity deathmatch types of things that we should just be hoping and praying for at night become a reality. We want it to happen, but it shouldn't happen. It's a want. It's not a need. If Nick Diaz really needs the money that bad, then we need to make that fool a GoFundMe. If it's about the money, we need to make that fool a GoFundMe. We need to help him so he doesn't have to do this anymore. Because we're going to have to make him a GoFundMe anyway to pay for his hospital bills if that fool keeps fighting. It's going to happen anyway. That fool fought his last fight against Lawler with 2 ruptured discs in his neck. You know why? Because that fool's over here breaking his neck, looking into the past. That fool's living in the past. That fool's left and right. It's over, fool. It's over. And then they got photos of this dude. This fool out here looking like my Tio Beto, all oblivious and everything. They got photos. I mean, his heart was in the right place, you know? His heart was in the right place. They got this fool at the Apex, at the PI, and he's training in the Reebok gear. This was 3 days ago. Nobody told him. Nobody told this fool. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He's trying to be a company man. He's trying to abide by the rules. Nobody told him. Nate's at home laughing right now. This fool's out here rooting for the Washington Redskins. He doesn't know what's going on. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of it, but the reality is heartbreaking. Apoyo Zeus, this chat. Hey, I appreciate you. I don't know if you're new here or if you're just deciding to speak up, but I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And if you are new here, my air horn is trying to let you know what's up. It's kind of a running gag. The air horn likes to troll me. Speaking of fools needing money, Donald Cerrone is trying to fight Jake Paul. Donald Cerrone doesn't know what to wrap it up. Maybe that fool. I mean, according to the articles that we've been seeing and the videos that are coming out, and this fool saying it himself. It's not alleged. Donald Cerrone has come out saying that he's on that good. He's on that good stuff. Donald Cerrone has formed the Israel Adesanya type of habit that now he has to sustain, and he needs to make that money. He came out and revealed that he went from 175 pounds to 220 since he retired. I did the same thing recently, but that's just because it was Thanksgiving and everything. I don't got excuses. This fool put on all that, what's that, 35 pounds of muscle. That wasn't stuffing. That wasn't macaroni salad. It wasn't tamales. It wasn't pozole. It wasn't sopes. It's clenbuterol. That fool's eating from the same taco truck as Canelo, and he's not trying to hide it. He said that he feels like he's 20 years old again, and that's exactly why he's trying to fight 25-year-old Jake Paul. Let me see if I got I don't think yeah, I'm not seeing I was thinking about putting a picture up, but I feel like what I'm seeing right here isn't gonna do it justice. You gotta watch the videos and stuff that he's been in. I think he got like maybe on his Instagram. Oh snap. I mean, this fool doesn't look like this fool doesn't look like he's eating as many tablets as like Gordon Ramsay or anything like that. I mean, that fool can't even compete in MMA because of his because of habits and his lifestyle and whatnot. But I mean, you could see the difference. You could still see the difference. I mean, look at those buys right there. Look at the pecs popping out right there. Look at that neck. He's trying to get that Mike Tyson neck. That fool's neck is bigger than his homie's whole head. But he's trying to fight Jake Paul. And a lot of people are always criticizing Jake Paul, saying that he's trying to take the easy road, that he's trying to fight old dudes, that he's trying to beat all these legends. He's trying to be a legend killer. He's trying to build an easy record. Jake Paul doesn't want to fight him. What now? Jake Paul doesn't want to have nothing to do with it. People are always accusing him of taking the easy route. He doesn't want the easy route. You're trying to accuse him of something that doesn't exist. And he's trying to drop those hands. He's trying to let Jake Paul know what's up. He actually said it, and I quote, well, let me say this first. He didn't say, I want to beat him. He didn't say, I want to destroy that fool. He didn't say, I want to end the hype train. He didn't say he's a young punk and he hasn't faced competition like this. He didn't say anything like that. What he did say was, how could I say no to millions of dollars? That's what Donald Cerrone said. How could I say, I think this was on Brendan Schaub's show. They asked, like, would you take a fight with him or something? He said, how could I say no to millions of dollars? He said, you're making money, and if you want to throw some money my way, I'm with you. We're not talking about someone that wants to shut up this young punk, this YouTuber, this hype train. We're talking about someone that wants a payday. We're talking about Donald Cowboy Cerrone from the sketchy fight with Conor McGregor. We're talking about the dude that allegedly took a dive against Conor McGregor. Now, I'm not claiming that he did, even though I made an entire video about it that you could go look up. But that's the claim. And if you don't remember, or you saw the breakdown, the truck walk, Brendan Fraser. We're talking about the same fight that rocked the MMA world because of how fake it was. Donald Cerrone, if you don't remember, do you remember the walkout song he had when he came out to that fight? The only reason I know it is because I just watched it when I was doing my due diligence. Steve Miller Band. Take the money and run. He's not trying to hide the clenbuterol usage. He's not trying to hide the fact that he wanted to make that Jake Paul money. He's not trying to hide the fact that what he did against Conor McGregor is all right in front of us. Cerrone, that fool's out here to take the money and run just like Paddy Pimblett's troll. And look, I know you guys have already seen it. I know you've watched the footage. Paddy Pimblett went full Kevin Holland. Paddy Pimblett just went full Kevin Holland, and he's fighting trolls now. He's getting into fights on Instagram in the comment section, and he's flying fools out to fight him, and he's recording it, and he's uploading it to his YouTube channel. Adrian Nunes. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Paddy Pimblett was trying to save whatever kind of face that he had left. That fool's going to need facial reconstructive surgery. I didn't think he had any left after what just happened. Paddy Pimblett is not only flying him out, he's paying him. He said, I'll give you $500 to come out here and last unlimited rounds with me. Now, I don't even know what he meant by unlimited. That means till somebody dies or what? Like, there has to be some kind of a limit. He said, I'll give you $500. Well, actually, he said 500 pounds. I don't know what that converts to. I think in America, that's like 40 bucks. He offered him $500, 500 pounds, if he would fly him out and that he would last unlimited rounds with him. He ended up paying him 50 bucks. He ended up paying him 50 bucks because the dude quit, I guess, after the third round. So what Paddy Pimblett wants us to remember, he doesn't want us to have the visual of what happened at his last fight. He doesn't want us to remember the display. He doesn't want us to remember what Gordon did to him. He doesn't want us to remember the lackluster, slow performance. He wants this visual in our head right here. He wants us to believe that he's dominant. He wants us to believe that he's a monster. He wants us to believe that he will decimate anyone right in front of him. Burn this into your memory, ladies and gentlemen. Is Paddy Pimblett's ruse working? Look it. He's trying to hypnotize us right here. This is hypnosis 101 right here. Is it working? This is what they did to fools in World War II. Is this working? Look right into it. Look right into it and then look up at the ceiling. And then you're going to believe. He went full Kevin Holland trying to get the kind of respect that he's not able to garner for himself when he actually fights in the cage. And when you watch the video, because I scoped it out because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about. The same thing as always was revealed to us when we're dealing with trolls. The troll came in just like Donald Cerrone. Not, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to expose you. I'm going to prove I'm better. the dude came in with bad intentions. The dude came in and he even said in the video, I'm just, maybe I'll get a picture with him. It's all about the hype. It's all about the clout. Just like with the video I made with Joe Rogan, when there was an internet troll, he flew him out. The dude just wants to take pictures with them and be able to say that he rolled with Joe Rogan. It's all about the clout. And these fools are falling for it because they're so obsessed with trying to build up their rep, with their street cred. And they're doing it the wrong way because nobody's going to respect this. They're hugging. They're being friends afterwards. They're taking photos. The fool showing them how to do an Imanari roll. It's nothing about publicity. For the troll, he gets to talk about it for the rest of his life. About this dude that was famous in the UFC for 1 year before he fought a dude that finished him. And Paddy Pimblett gets to ride that as long as he can, that at least there's still some fools out here that he could one up. The most important thing that this entire situation taught us, though, that we weren't sure about before, is that now we know that Paddy Pimblett knows that he lost. We didn't know that before. Because before that, the whole world knew that he lost. The commentators knew he lost. Dana White knew he lost. Joe Rogan knew he lost. We knew he lost, but we didn't know if he knew he lost. We didn't know just how delusional he was. And this confirmed that even he knows that he lost, or he wouldn't have done this. He wouldn't have went full Kevin Holland. He's trying to build up that street cred. He's trying to build up that rep, and he's trying to save face, and he's doing it in the wrong way. He would build all that stuff up by just being transparent, by apologizing, by backtracking and said, I was foolish. People would respect that. But he's just tripling down. And he let us know that he even knows now that he didn't get that win, or he wouldn't be slumming like this. I guess it does say something a little bit positive about Paddy, about the world. It would be scary if that fool was delusional enough to actually believe. He's supposed to act like he won on the mic. He's supposed to act like he won on the camera. We know that. But now we know when he's alone at night and he's staring at the ceiling. We know what he knows now. And that's a little comforting. It's a little comforting to know that it's difficult for that fool. He could try to fool everybody else watching, everybody spectating, but that fool couldn't fool himself. Just because you're a fool doesn't mean you can fool yourself. That's what that fool learned. And I'm going to have to end this stream now, not only because I got to my final talking point, but because my bladder is about to bust. Because I'm too hydrated. Because in 2023, I have vowed to be the most hydrated person that has ever lived in 2023. And I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. And is it stupid that I didn't start drinking this until 7 p.m.? Yes. But that's dedication. Dedication eliminates constipation. That's why you got to keep drinking water. Dedication trumps constipation. I want to thank you all for being here. And I want to thank the 9 of you that watched my most recent video. It meant a lot to me. And I'm going to post it in here right now so you can watch it. It would mean a lot to me if you would go watch this video, leave a comment, like, share it. I worked hard on it, and I would like some people to see it, so please consider going and watching it and letting me know you were there. Go comment. Go leave a comment, and I'll comment back. I'm going to go on the toilet right now, and I'm going to be looking for your comments. I'm going to respond to you and say thank you. So please scope it out. I'm going to be working on the UFC 2 No Way Out main card ASAP. ASAP possible. Thank you for being here, spending some time with me. I'm going to be working hard for you behind the scenes. You stay safe out there. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late.